In this project, we were assigned to recreate a local landmark or building within a pre-existing game style. I quite quickly chose both building, St. Lawrence's Church in my hometown of Ludlow, and game style, Alice Madness Returns, specifically the first chapter, The Vale of Tears. However, I also linked this project with my own personal game idea called Dreamstrider, as it had a similar look and feel as Alice Madness Returns. And during this project, I would position it like Dreamstrider with a DLC for Alice. What I set out to do was model a wing of the church, as the whole church was quite large for a first modular build and would be hard to get references for all of it, and set it within a whimsical and highly cluttered landscape to match the world of Alice, adding in references to my game Dreamstrider such as small bits of Spanish and hints of Colombian culture. I think, considering this was my first to do with anything environment, I have created an aesthetically pleasing and whimsical landscape and a successful recreation of St. Lawrence's. On the other hand, though, I think I was less successful in emulating the style of Alice Madness Returns, and the further I got into the project, the more it strayed from the style. The biggest divergence is 100% the foliage, as most of Alice's foliage are 2D planes, whilst mine is 3D. Also, in general, the landscape is much less cluttered than Alice's. These both fell down to my own personal poor time management over the course of the project, leading to me using faster avenues to get the environment to a stage of completion. Comparing my pipeline and overall progress to industry standards, I would say it shows that I am a student that is learning, as there are aspects such as modelling that shows clumsy mistakes and unpolished engine work. However, to compare to the start of the project, I feel like I have massively improved in all stages and programs, greatly increasing my knowledge base and understanding, especially in Unreal. This shows in my improvement in Maya over the course of the project, as well as my textures from Substance. Mostly peer feedback over the course of the project was helping me understand how the engine worked. On reflection, I wish I had asked my peers more opinions to create a more refined level that may have stuck closer to the style brief I had set out. If I had enough time, there are several things I would wish to improve. Firstly, adding more models and props to improve the set dressing, as the scene sometimes looks a little empty, and Alice Madness Returns had a lot of smaller details that brings the game together. Secondly, I would want to explore more engine effects like the Niagara system that I use for my waterfall, such as wind blowing effects and fireflies. Thirdly, something I think would elevate my scene greatly would be using my own foliage, as I can create more fitting plants for the scene and context. Finally, I would go back and improve or remodel my earlier models to create cleaner topology, especially on the modular parts. After this project, I'll expand my learning by taking some more time to learn more in Unreal, especially effects and lighting, as well as my texturing know-how in both Unreal and Substance to make more appealing models.